Hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk a bit about the contents of my book, Government and Innovation. If you go to the Amazon's book page of this book, there's this look inside, so you can look inside and see the table of contents, but I also wanted to bring it into this video. First of all, I wanted to thank Rob Hayes, who wrote the foreword. I was so lucky to get Rob to write the foreword. He is the perfect person to be talking about government and innovation, because not only at the moment, he is the CEO of Atom Computing, which is a quantum computing company. They have a lot to do with the government, but he has been vice president at Intel in their product creation and strategy, an iconic American tech company, as well as Lenovo, a Chinese company creating technology products, and obviously with the support of the Chinese government. So he's really seen it from many different angles. So thank you, Rob, for the foreword. But about the contents, I have divided the book in 3 parts. The first part is tools, and as you may have read, the target audience for this book really is, I kind of wrote it for myself when I worked for economic development and investment promotion agency. You don't have a lot of books that tell economic developers how to do their jobs. It's kind of like, I felt like there's a void there. That's one of the reasons why I wrote the book. So economic developers, whether you are in a city or a state or a country, you have a lot of different tools at your disposal. You have, in a country, you can set laws, regulations, you define taxes, trade agreements. In a city, you're responsible for education, things like infrastructure. A lot of communities have power to influence those, immigration, and of wars. Even at the moment, we are in the middle of some wars, and a lot of countries are putting money into defense, and there's room for innovation opportunities there as well. So that was section 1. You can look at the tools that I listed. Some of them may apply to you, some of them may not. And then the second part of the book is examples, because I always suffer when I go to a conference, and I go to a lot of very technical conferences, and I'm recently in quantum, because they're not even computer scientists, they are physicists. I'm just sitting there, and the physicists are going through their slides, and I wish, man, if they just had some examples, it would be easier for me to understand. So I chose a selection of countries where I think their governments have done a really good job in picking the tools that I list in section 1, and then implementing them into their economies and societies to bring more innovation-driven growth and prosperity. And the examples that I have are quantum and Canada, Brazil and agriculture, Finland and artificial intelligence, Italy and their space industry, and South Korea and displays. Really nice stories. I was able to interview a lot of fascinating people from those countries as well. And the last part, which is the thickest, I don't know if you can see it, because each of the part is divided with this red divider. The last one is by far the thickest, and this is the call to action for you as an economic developer. What can you do in your own region, in your own community? And I start by discussing the problems that we have in the world, and the kind of the how should I call it, the setting, the preface for all of this is, we have big problems in this world, and we should be using innovation solving those problems. So if you're sitting, you're a very powerful person, you're doing economic development in a major region, why not invest your taxpayers' money in solving these big problems? Not only are you solving problems in your communities, but you're creating industries that are sustainable long-term, because these are industries and products that have a demand on the market. And I picked 3 examples. Climate crisis, obviously, is a huge challenge. So any innovation that can help those problems. are, of course, going to be very successful and already are. Democracy, lack of democracy. The past years, we've seen a lot of threats and challenges in how we thought democracies and countries should be run. Some people have different ideas. So any innovation that can help solve and maintain democratic way of governing countries, I think is good. And then health, obviously, we've just had a pandemic. So a lot of new innovation needed on, keeping people healthy and preventing sicknesses and pandemics from happening. And then I give some advice and guidance on how you look at your own regions. What assets do you have? Do you have land? Do you have air? Do you have access to sea? Do you have a lot of people? What are your natural resources and how you compare economically? Do you have access to capital? So kind of like looking at your situation, how you're going to take this forward. And then the very last section, I came up with this. It's supposed to be a government building. So a government building illustrating the different components that you can work with when you create your strategy towards an innovation-driven, prosperous economy. So that's, the contents of the book. What I plan to do next is start, maybe I should call it a how-to series or some kind of educational videos from the call to action that will help you as economic developers in putting these ideas into practice. So stay tuned. Thanks.